Yo, what's going on, everybody? You've seen the thumbnail, you've read the title, and today I want to talk about my feedback on the Call of Duty Vanguard beta. Everything from the pros to the cons, everything I liked, everything I disliked, yada yada yada. 16 different ways of explaining that. With that being said, I don't want to waste much more time because this is probably going to be a pretty long video. With that being said, let's get into the video, guys. Alright, so I want to start this off by saying I know a lot of people have a lot of very negative opinions about Call of Duty Vanguard, and their whole experience with the beta wasn't that great. But as for me, I generally enjoyed the experience with the beta. I enjoyed the maps we got. Red Star was, a little big, but I'll talk about the maps a little bit later. But I overall enjoyed the majority of the game. I enjoyed the gameplay. Now, granted, if the game launched like this, we would have some problems in about a month if things weren't fixed. But for a beta and for like a very first impressions, it was solid. So with that being said, let's get into my pros and cons list of this game. Alright, so we're going to kick this list off with the pros because I was just talking about how I like the game, so I think it's important that we talk about the pros of this game. So starting with probably the best pro of this game is footstep audio. Footstep audio in Call of Duty Vanguard is incredibly quiet. You virtually cannot hear any footsteps whatsoever. It's like everybody has dead silence for free, and I am completely okay with that. Granted, I understand why some people would want louder footsteps, but quieter footsteps are better in general because it doesn't punish you for moving. I know Sledgehammer Games has gotten complaints about footstep audio and audio in general, and I really hope they don't go the Modern Warfare route and be like, oh, people can't hear footsteps, so let's just make them incredibly loud so you can hear someone running at you from a mile away. If you want to use footstep audio, just go back to COD World War II, steal those footsteps. Those footsteps were not that loud, they were still audible at close range, and you didn't have a lot of time to react from hearing them, but you still had a little bit of time to react, and in the heat of gunfire and things like that, you weren't going to hear those footsteps. If you want to take footstep audio, go to COD World War II. Really simple, not that hard at all. The next thing up on my list here is Stim Shot is not a crutch, which I absolutely love because after I have been using Stim Shot on every single one of my classes throughout the entire life cycle of Cold War, it feels so good to have general fast health regen that doesn't make me feel like I am forced into running a piece of equipment to regenerate my health. I like the health regens fast, it's so nice, it feels good, it feels like you can get a gunfight, take a second to reload, and by the time you're done, you're right back into the action. You win a gunfight, and you just a couple of seconds to regenerate your health, and you're right back into the action. You don't have to sit there forever or have to use a stim shot so that every time you win a gunfight, you gotta hit that stim shot, and then you can get back into the action. It's nice to just be able to flow back into the action. Game flow's fine, not needing an item. It's 100% perfect, and I never thought I would say that, but after Cold War pretty much forcing me to use it every single match, it feels so good. Next up on my pros list is the maps. The maps in the game I all generally enjoyed aside from Red Star, and the only time I didn't like playing on Red Star was when we were playing on a game mode like Team Deathmatch or Kill Confirmed, because every single time you got Team Deathmatch or Kill Confirmed on Red Star, it just felt like it's like, alright, time to have another pointless 10-minute match. The map is incredibly huge, doesn't fit 6 people on a TDM, it just doesn't flow well. But as soon as you put an objective on Red Star, it plays really well. Now granted, I think that is a reason for it being a pretty bad map. If it needs an objective, I think all maps should function on Team Deathmatch first, and then just play differently or better when you throw an objective on it. But at least considering I majorly play objective modes, I'm not really going to have a problem with getting Red Star unless I am playing with like a friend who has TDM filtered, and then I'm going to want to scream at him for having TDM selected because maps like Red Star exist. But with that being said, when you combo the maps together, when you combo fast health regen, as well as the footstep audio, you can kind of start to see why I generally enjoy the flow of this game and the pacing of this game. Like, the game felt good when you combine these three things together. That made the game feel really nice. Now we have the endless list of cons, which if some of this stuff is not fixed, yeah, at a full launch, I'm going to hate this game, and I'm going to resent this game pretty quick. But with that being said, let's get into the cons list. So starting off, we have these servers. Oh my god, were the servers absolutely horrible. And I understand someone's going to tell me, But they're beta servers, Arctic. I understand that. But reviewing the beta of this game, these servers are garbage. And if this is the same servers we see on launch, goddamn, is it going to be frustrating as hell. Constant lag spikes, constant packet bursts, constant packet loss from time to time. It's just infuriating to have connection be a roller coaster constantly, and it's not my ping or anything. I've talked to a lot of people and they have the exact same problems, who also have really good internet connections just like I do. I'm usually at a 20 to 40 millisecond ping. On Black Ops 4, this game, I'm at a 50 millisecond ping. Part of that is skill-based matchmaking. Actually, majority of that is skill-based matchmaking, as it's been proven from Cold War, if they're using the same system, which apparently they are, that they sacrifice ping for skill. So, that's why my ping is definitely a little bit higher. But nonetheless, even then, it still fluctuates up to 100 every now and then, and latency variations, packet bursts. It's annoying. It's extremely, extremely annoying. And talking about annoyances and servers, I guess a good thing to lead in here is the performance of the game. On a last-gen console, the game is so poorly optimized. Why? I don't know. The Modern Warfare engine runs perfectly fine on Modern Warfare, but Vanguard, for some reason, is like poorly optimized. The frames drop every now and then. It's just like frame bursts will drop down to 10 frames randomly. It's really, really annoying, and it feels like sometimes you can only play 6v6 because, God forbid, you put more people on that map and more explosions and more destructible environments, and the game just can't handle it. Like, why? I don't know, other than the fact that it's just poorly optimized. It is 110% just poorly optimized. Sledgehammer Games will not admit to it, but they just didn't optimize it. They just did not optimize it for old-gen hardware, despite knowing that, oh yeah, new-gen consoles are extremely hard to get their hands on, and not everybody can afford a PC. So please just optimize the game for old-gen hardware. I don't care if you have to sacrifice graphics a little bit. I don't care about graphics. You know what? Even give me a setting on console to turn down the graphics if it means I don't frame drop as much, because I don't really care about graphics. Alright? But the next thing, talking about kind of graphics here, is gray wash. This is something that is not graphic related, but it's kind of related in a way, because for some reason the game is just incredibly gray and grainy for seemingly no reason whatsoever. I don't know why. It's just like they turned the saturation all the way down for whatever reason, and apparently from the gameplay I'm seeing and stuff like that, it's only an old gen problem. Why? I don't know. They decided to turn down the saturation on old gen as a way to optimize the game, but that, spoiler, that does not optimize the game better, turning down saturation. That really doesn't do anything. It's just weird. It doesn't make sense. Just turn up the saturation. It's not that hard. Fix it. Not hard at all. The next thing is, speaking of visibility with gray wash, we have the factions, or I guess I should say the lack of a faction system. Everybody looks the same. I hate when we have 10 people in a room and I can't tell who's an enemy and who's a teammate, because everybody is the exact same character and everybody looks the exact same. It's annoying. I hate having to look for red nameplates. I want to just be able to look at a player and be like, bam, that's an enemy, and shoot him. I don't want to have to see the red nameplate and then be like, oh, enemy, shoot. No, I want to be able to look at somebody and shoot at them. I made an entire video on this. It's annoying. Please fix it. Spawns, on the other hand, fix those as well. I know they talked about it in their blog post, and they talked specifically about Hotel Royale, but Hotel Royale is not the only map that has bad spawns. Every single map in this game has terrible spawns. I will constantly spawn behind enemies. I'll have enemies spawn behind me where they just get me dead as a free kill. It's stupid. The spawns are terrible. I know you said they're working on them, but please, it's not just Hotel Royale, Sledgehammer. It is literally every single map has horrendous spawns. Next thing up, headshot multipliers. They're way too high. It makes gunfights incredibly inconsistent. If I remember a chart that Exclusive Ace used, the average time to kill in this game is about 300-ish milliseconds, something like that. But as soon as you mix in a headshot, it goes to like 100 milliseconds. You can almost effectively cut your time to kill in about roughly half just by hitting one one singular headshot. That is pointless. It makes gunfights feel incredibly inconsistent. You combo this with limb multipliers and upper torso multipliers and everything like that, and sometimes it feels like your enemy is a bullet sponge, and other times it feels like you just delete them in half a second. It's stupid. Reduce the headshot multipliers, and the game's going to be a little bit better. Speaking of getting instantly killed, the MP40. Again, I know they talked about weapon balance in their blog post, but I just want to hammer home the point. MP40 is so stupid that I made an entire video on it. You could pile in the STG here with bad weapon balance, but other than pretty much the STG and MP40, the gun balance is pretty good, but those guns are just so strong for seemingly no reason whatsoever, and it's annoying as hell. Speaking of being annoying as hell, the ammo types in this game. Why do we have ammo types that increase flinch, light you on fire, explode as they hit you, things that remove the leg multiplier? Like, if you're shooting somebody in the legs, that's kind of your fault. I don't think, limb multipliers for arms should be a thing, but leg multipliers, sure, whatever. Just get rid of them. Get rid of them entirely. There's no point in having flame rounds on a full auto gun or even a shotgun. There's no point of having explosion rounds or rounds that slow your movement or anything like that. It just makes gunfights inconsistent and annoying. And you can see a trend here with a couple of last complaints. Stop making gunfights inconsistent. It's annoying. Just make gunfights as consistent as you possibly can, okay? It's not that hard to do. And part of that is removing these ammo types or vastly reworking them. Like explosion ammo types, destroy the environment like 3 times as much, and flame ammo types can light wooden cover on fire, okay? If you want to do that, cool. Other than that, they should never affect damage when you're hitting an enemy or do annoying things like slow their movement, alright? It's stupid, it's annoying. And with that being said, I guess one last thing I have to talk about here that I'm sure you've all been waiting for: skill-based matchmaking. It's gotta go. It's gotta go, or at least make it light skill-based matchmaking. Granted, I didn't feel it super hard in the beta because I was playing it pretty inconsistently, but at times I could really feel the tough skill-based matchmaking, and it's really gotta go. Like, just light skill-based matchmaking, protect the bottom of the bracket players. I don't want to stomp bottom bracket players, but seriously, skill-based matchmaking, out the window, it's gotta go. So with that being said, if you guys happen to enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like, sub to the channel, turn on post notifications. Feel free to comment to help me down with the algorithm below. Let me know what your guys' pros and cons to Call of Duty Vanguard are. And with that being said, have a great rest of the day, everybody. Bye-bye. Peace out.